Welcome back.
This is Purana Talk, and we're reading the Garuda Purana.
This is Alan. I'm Leon. We study the Puranas every day.
Yeah, we read them. We get our 2 cents in. And if we can bring just one ray of enlightenment to the greater world, we'll turn the camera on and let you watch.
It'll be fun.
Chapter 177 in the first section of the Garuda Purana, which is a very, very long section, or we wouldn't be at chapter 177. Hari is speaking. Last we knew he was speaking to Vishnu. And he's discoursing on various aspects of Ayurvedic medicine.
Shiva. He's speaking to Shiva.
Yeah, what did I say?
Vishnu.
Yeah.
Vishnu is speaking to Shiva.
Well, it's all Vishnu, even Shiva.
Yeah,
it's all Shiva too. This is the problem. So they sit down together and they hash it out. In this case, Hari, or Vishnu, is speaking to Rudra, or Shiva. 1. There is no doubt in this that the eye salve prepared from the juice of the leaves of Shobhanjana with honey cures all ocular affections. Affections? Things that affect the eye. Afflictions. All right.
Afflictions probably is the word he needed. Yeah.
2 to 3. 80 flowers of Tilla and Jati mixed with Upanimba, Amala, Shunti, Pipali, and Tanduliyaka must be dried in shade and prepared in the form of vatis. These vatis can be pasted in rice washings and applied to the eyes like collyrium. It removes all timira defects.
The tilia flower is really really astringent, if that's what that is.
Tilia?
Tilia, yeah.
I don't know. Is that tea?
It's seems like it's a lime flower or something like that.
Upanimba sounds like a variety of lime.
It's a weird looking little thing.
Amala,
it's a dried flower.
Amala we know. Shunti I think is fennel. Pipali is long pepper. I don't know what Tanduliyaka is.
Dried in the shade. So they're worried that they'll lose the volatile oils, or they wouldn't be concerned about that.
They don't want them dried in the sun.
Right, because then you lose too much of the volatile.
Yeah, these aren't being cooked. They're being dried and prepared
or something.
Prepared in the form of vatis. I thought those were like little pill things, and then it says these vatis can be pasted in rice washings and applied to the eyes. Okay, so maybe you make little pills out of them. And then one use of the pills is to powder them up with rice washings and use it as an eye wash or an eye. I think it's like
an anointment.
Stuff, yeah. Well, like collyrium it says, and that's outlining the eye often. The pulp of the stones of Vibhitaka, Shankanabi, Mahashila, leaves of Nimbu and Maricha must be ground into paste in goat's urine. Right, the pulp of the stones of Vibhitaka, Shankanabi, I don't know what that is, but it's like conch belly button. The navel of a conch, a shunk. Manahashila, and then leaves of nimba, which may be lime, and maricha, which is mirch, pepper, leaves, must be ground into paste in goat's urine. As an eye salve, this compound removes the troubles of the wall-eyed and the night-blinded. Timira and afflictions of the coat of the eyes are also quelled. 5-6. 4 parts of Shanka, 2 parts of Mahashila, and it says Realgar in parentheses. I don't know what that is, but Realgar. And one part of rock salt are to be ground into paste and dried in shade and formed into vatika. This can be applied like collyrium. It cures timira and patala and is very effective in pinjaka, which it says are mucus excretions of the eyes. So another preparation, dry in the shade, form into little pills, and then it can be used apparently by powdering it and mixing with rice washings or some similar method to produce an eye medication. And mind you that, we're talking, there's some like black, long pepper at least, and I mean, it seems to me that these things might also irritate the eye. but perhaps
make it tear and then wash it out more.
Well, I remember, was it Dr. Christopher that always recommended cayenne eye washes and enemas and anything else you could think of to do with cayenne. It's completely
he did like cayenne.
Yeah. So
enzyme rich.
Yep. But it does clear out those tear ducts. 7 to 8. Trikatu. Again, that's the 3 hot things, and they're talking about putting it around your eyes. That's black pepper, long pepper, and ginger, I think.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Tripala, the 3 fruits. Fruits of karanja, rock salt, and the 2 kinds of rajani, which it says are haridra and daru haridra, are to be ground in the juice of bhringaraja and applied as collyrium. It cures timira, etc. I don't know what timira is. I don't even know if it's Sanskrit or Latin. Timira. Do we ask the phone at this point?
Sure.
Where's the phone? I don't have mine.
I've got mine.
Oh, here it is.
You got it.
Yeah. What is timira? Tamara. No. How about, I'll just spell it. Timira. Search. Timira City was a Kaminoan city located on the planet Kamino. Wait. Timira, girl's name, meaning, popularity.
I think we are to be forgiven for not knowing.
What is the meaning of the Hindi word Timira?
Sure.
Blackness. Darkness around the eyes. This is something that was a cosmetic issue with Indians sometimes. It's a skin pigmentation. You see people with
it's
dark
a sign of certain illnesses too.
Yeah.
Like, vitamin B deficiency will give you dark rings under your eyes.
All right, stop. Go to sleep. All right.
7.
Well, that was good. Yeah, that was 7-8. This is 9 now. Roots of atarushka, ground into paste in sour gruel and applied thickly over the eyes. Remove all sorts of pain in the eyes. Atarushka. Doesn't tell us what it is, which suggests it already did. But... All right. 10-12. The decoction of shatadru in the root of badari taken in gives relief from aching sensation in the eyes. Mustard oil cooked with the root of apamarga and ground into paste with rock salt, milk, and sour gruel in a copper vessel can be used as a collyrium. O Shankara Pinjata, accumulation of mucus in the eyes, is removed by this. While applying this collyrium, one shall repeat this mantra. Om Dadru Sara Krom Hrim Taha Taha Dadru Sara Hrim Hrim Om Sara Krim Krim Taha Taha. The 9 Durgas, called Adyas, can be brought under one's control.
Wow. All right.
An interesting insertion in the medical text.
So, a mantra to control the 9 Durgas.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And to cure accumulation of mucus in the eyes.
Right.
There's just a moment to interject just a little, not exactly an anecdote, but in my travels throughout India, I decided once to go to Nainital, mostly because it sounded like a charming hill station around a lake, and it is all that and more. But it turns out it was it's the home of the goddess Naini Devi, who is the goddess of eyes and eyesight, and so people go there for vision issues, and there's eye clinics there, and they do Ayurvedic eye cures and all of that stuff. Meenakshi is fish-eyed too, the fish-eyed goddess. Goddesses and eyes is the topic at the moment, but we're going back just to Ayurveda and eyes. 13. An eye salve prepared with bilva, and roots of neeli quells timira instantaneously. 14. A stick or a wick prepared with pipali, tagara, haridra, amalaka, vacha, and kadira ground well can be applied as collyrium to all eye sores. A person who holds water in his mouth and washes his face and eyes regularly in the morning every day can keep himself free from eye sores perpetually. So you can avoid getting them by just keeping good facial hygiene, like specifically washing out your mouth and your face and eyes regularly every morning. 16. Roots of white aranda and its leaves cooked with goat's milk can be used for fomentation in vataja eye sores. 17, Chandana, sandalwood, rock salt, vridha palasha, haritaki, patala, flowers, neeli, and chakrika, made into a collyrium, removes eye sores. Gunja roots, ground into a paste in goat's urine, quells timira. The body of a jaundiced patient must be rubbed with rods of silver, copper, and gold, and the above paste applied as a plaster. He will get relief, O Rudra. 1920. Smelling or drinking the decoction of ghosha fruit dispels chlorosis and jaundice. There's an aromatherapeutic thing there.
So what smell?
Ghosha fruit.
Gosha.
G-H-O-S with a dot under it, A.
Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
Let's ask Duster.
Yeah, ask Duster. We'll look it up in a book.
Gosha fruit.
Ghosh. G-H-O-S. It's the retroflex S. Sometimes I call it the Krishna S. S with a dot under it. There's that, and the S with the accent mark. They're different letters in Sanskrit, but they sound so similar we don't even trouble you to try to make a distinction.
Spell it for me.
G-H-O-S with a dot under it, in this case, or H.
Nope. Not there.
All right. Meanwhile, I'm going to ask the phone because, we can only play this game for so long. What is Ghosha fruit? Babu Gosha is a pear. Punjabi word, Babu Gosha, but it doesn't have an H in it. I'm gonna try to simulate an H and see if that just means. Oh, suddenly there's a picture. Well, that's an apple. Learn 10 Hindi fruit names with picture. I don't know if that's really going to. Oh, that's going to be a YouTube.
So it doesn't show up in Duster. Not by that name.
And the way no, this is like the biggest problem here is that Ghosh is too much like an Indian name, and so everybody that's ever written a book that has fruit involved, it's named Ghosh, and it's changed it anyway. No, I didn't mean. If anything, I should take out the H. See if that makes Babu Gosha. Hal Sabji. No, that's the Babu Gosha. That's not how it's spelled. It's the Hindi and then it misspells it. And that looks like a pear in the picture here, and then it's got a bunch of. All right.
Well, that's what you said before, too.
I'm giving up on it.
So, I don't know. It could be quince, maybe, or pear, or something like that.
Or something utterly different. But here we go. It's it's a smelling and drinking of a decoction of Gosha fruit dispels chlorosis and jaundice. The juice of Dardima Pushpa, Durva, Alaktaka, and Haritaki, used as an urhine, removes hemorrhoid growths in the nose and Vatarakta.
I think they're talking about when you get nosebleeds.
I don't know.
They
have spoken of fistula in ano and fistula in naso or whatever. I don't remember. So they've talked about, there's some joke hidden in that somewhere. Noses. 21. Oh, Vrishabhadvaja, Nila Lohita. Roots of these are both names of Shiva. One is O bull bannered one, O blue throated. Perhaps one. I forget what blue. I thought it was blue eyed one, but I know he's blue throated. Roots of Jingani, ground into paste in its own juice, can be used as an urhine or urhine in nasarshas. And these are hemorrhoid growths in the nose. Nosoroids. And the plant gives a footnote of a Latinized name. It's Lania grandis. Lannea. Ghee from cow's milk. Sarjarasa, dhaniaka, coriander, rock salt, datura, definitely, and gairica must be cooked well and ground into paste with cooked rice and oil. This can be applied if there is an ulcer in the lips or if they are split.
Oh, I wouldn't think you'd be wanting to eat much of that.
All right. I just looking ahead, I can see that this is going to be quite a long chapter. So I'm going to start plowing through it here without as much discussion, unless it just is irresistible. We're beginning with stanza 23. Jati leaves must be chewed well and kept in the mouth for some time. This cures sores in the mouths. By chewing and eating seeds of kosha, teeth shaking in their roots become steady. Chewing mustika, kushta, ela, yashtika, balika, and dhaniaka with honey removes bad odor from the mouth. Oh, hara. That was the point he's going to say, well, why are you saying oh, hara when you're looking at me while you're telling? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm chatting again. Shiva is saying, what? I have bad breath? Is that what you're saying? What did the gods talk about? Well, 25 to 26. Daily intake of astringent, pungent, and bitter vegetables fried in oil removes fetid smell from the mouth, and all ulcers of the gum and teeth are removed by this. Wow. If you eat fried, astringent, pungent, and bitter vegetables, so you can eat pakoras all the time if they're like bitter root and stuff. Bitter melon.
I wouldn't count on this.
27. Gargling with sour gruel mixed with oil removes the pain due to the burning of the mouth on account of lime while chewing beetle. O Shiva. Okay. So this is when you get pon and they put too much of the white stuff on it, and it's basic.
The line.
It's not acid; it's a base, but it cuts you. It'll cut
Mhm.
your gum and makes it feel raw. And so this is what you can use to counteract that. This is a very practical thing in India.
Yeah.
So gargling with sour gruel mixed with oil. I can see that because it feels very, like how to describe it. Like wants to grab everything. You want something smooth and slick on it. So, something in the rawness makes the surface sort of stick to each other. Okay, never mind. 28 on. Just as mucus secretions of kapha are generated by chewing shunti, fennel, so also the application of the lambative prepared with leaves of matulunga, ela, yashti, madhu, pipali, and the leaves of jati cause the same. Chewing the sprouts of sepalika proves effective in curing goiter. So, what intrigues me here, because I can't resist talking about some things, is we've just seen a kind of crossover in the use of certain plant substances and the tradition of eating pan in India, which is to say beetle. And here,
It's sort of defining what these ingredients might be.
Yeah, because fennel is widely used, and the use of leaves, and it mentions a variety of leaves. Pipali, it's the piper beetle that is the leaf itself. It's often forgotten. The nut is not. They say beetle nut, but the nut is from another plant. It's an areca nut.
And it's intoxicating.
And the leaf is the beetle. Yeah, mildly intoxicating. People aren't getting real stoned on this stuff unless they're putting other things in. But I could not tolerate, as you know.
They do tobacco.
Tobacco. It might as well be opium.
Pan, and there are all kinds of possibilities.
I have a story about opium pan too, but we'll save that for another time. Okay. O Shankara, by extracting the impure blood from the veins of the nostril, jivika is quelled. The juice of the seeds of shirisha, cooked with 4 times that of haridra, can be used as an erhine. O bhutesha, for removing headache. An instantaneous relief from sore throat also is possible. With that same thing, I assume. 32. By chewing the root of gunja, all the worms in the teeth perish.
Ew.
An astringent decoction of kakajanga, snuhi, and neeli mixed with honey, O Shiva, destroys worms originating in and affecting the teeth. I don't know if these are theoretical worms or, really something, which would be a very scary notion. If they're in your teeth, they're probably... Okay.
Scary.
I would like to think that these are...
maybe toothache.
Germ theory. That there's some tiny worms that are... Okay, 33. Rubbed with the ghee cooked in milk with karkata, feet as well as teeth do not produce a coarse sound in gnashing.
That's weird.
Stop gnashing your feet.
Yeah, what is that about?
No idea. 34. O Shiva, in the above case, it is enough if teeth are rubbed with karkatapada alone. Karkatapada. Pardon me. Fruits of Jyotishmati must be soaked in water for 21 days and ground into paste with the pulp of white abhaya. If this compound is used for rubbing the teeth, it removes dark spots and tartar in the teeth.
Oh, it's a tooth powder.
More tooth stuff. Compound of powdered lodra, kumkuma, manjishta, loha, kalayaka, yava, rice grain, and yashti madhu with water can be applied over the face by ladies for making it bright and shining. I thought they were going for teeth again, and then suddenly went to
Facial.
face. Face cream. A prasta of tela oil is to be cooked with 2 parts of goat milk and karshika each of rakta chandana, manjishta, and laksha, or yashti madhu and kumkuma. This gives bright luster to the face in 7 days.
Tila might be sesame.
No, taila is oil. That just
I
means
see.
oil.
It just means oil.
Yeah. Could be sesame, but it might be some other oil. It's non-specified, so that's sort of odd. Excuse me. 39 on water boiled with sunti, powdered pipli, guruchi, and kantakarika. When drunk, improves digestion. Not when you're drunk, when it's drunk. O Shiva, Parameshvara, Lord of Spirits, it removes the ache due to the deranged Vayu. A decoction of Karanja, Karakata, Ushira, Brahati, Katurohini, and Gokshura, when drunk, quells vertigo, burning sensation, Pitta-jvara, emaciation, and fainting. And that would be, Pitta-jvara would be, I believe, a fever caused by Pitta aggravation. 42, a decoction of powdered pipli with milk, honey, and ghee when drunk quells palpitation of the heart, cough, and chronic intermittent fever. Well, that's an easy one. So they like pipli, which is long pepper. You'd want to grind that up, powder it up, and you simmer that with milk, honey, and ghee. So you get this peppery, sweet, oily milk stuff. And then you drink that for your heart palpitation, your cough, or your chronic intermittent fever. 3 different things.
Intermittent fever probably being malaria.
Maybe. 43. The usual dosage for all drugs in decoction is half a karsha. O Vrishabhadvaja, according to the age of the patient, slight alteration is also recommended. So, half a karsha of all drugs is the usual dosage, adjusted for age. You'd have to look up karsha. I'm not sure what it is, but we had that list you found.
Yeah.
Weights and measures, of which there are many systems. We don't have to know, but it's
karsha.
It's probably a weight.
We're looking in the formulary volume of Materia Medica,
Published by the government of India.
Yeah.
8 karshas. There's a kasta. There's a kasta karsha. I don't think so. I don't see karshas, but you can look it up. We're not going to spend a lot of time.
Kudavas, karshas.
Karshas. Tola. That's a tola.
2 karshas equal 1 shukti.
Okay, well, saying a karsha is a tola is interesting because a tola is kind of a stand. Now, I don't know exactly what a tola is.
12 masas.
12 grams.
12 grams, right.
That's what I wanted to know. So we're talking about 12.
And 2 of those is a karsha, 24 grams. If you want to know what it is in grams, a karsha is 24 grams.
Okay. Well, 1 karsha is 12
so
grams.
So almost an ounce.
We're back to the same thing. 1 karsha is 12 grams, which is less than half an ounce. That's 2 karshas is 24 grams. 1 karsha is 12 grams.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. So
grams.
Less than half an ounce.
Yeah.
More than a third.
Thank you, Government of India.
Decoction. Okay, the usual dosage for all drugs is half a karsha. Okay, so it would be even less. It would be
a quarter of an ounce or
something. Less than a quarter of an ounce. 44. Watery portion squeezed out of cow dung mixed with the juice of kakajanga and drunk with milk quells Vishma Jwara, chronic intermittent fever. Or at least you'll stop complaining about it, so they won't give you more of that.
Don't give me more. I'll be good.
45. Milk boiled with shunti also cures Vishma Jwara. The same. One was Vishma, this says Vishama, but it's the same. Intermittent fever. So that's milk boiled with fennel. Probably because that was a really easy one for most people to get a hold of. Fennel grows everywhere abundantly, and milk is, any cow or other. It doesn't even say cow's milk. Yashdi madhu, musta, rock salt, brathatipala, used as urhine, induces sleep. The above compound can be mixed with maricha and honey, pepper and honey. And since this was pre-contact, it would be black pepper or long pepper, but probably black pepper because they've been talking about pipali as the long pepper. O Shiva, to make them more soporific. Pepper leaves and honey will make them more soporific. Bandaging the head with the roots of kakajanga induces sleep. Oil cooked with sour gruel and sarjarasa and applied with cold water allays heat and burning sensation due to fever with contamination of blood. A decoction of shaili, saivala, agnimanta, shunti, pashana bhedika, sobhanjana, gokshura, varuna, which it says is the Kratava Nurvala, Krataeva, if you want to look it up. Channa, which sounds like Channa in India, but it says identity not clear. And the root of Shobhanjana with Hingu and Yavakshara removes Pitta and Vayu. 51. Water boiled with pipali, root of pipali, and balatika when drunk quells colic, epileptic fits. Ashwagandha, mulika, and the clay from anthill applied as a plaster, O Rudra, quells urustumba, paralysis of the thighs, urustamba. The root of brahatika ground into paste with water and drunk quells sanghata vata. The root of ardraka and tagara drunk with buttermilk dispels ginginivata, like the thunderbolt felling a tree. And one of those is just ginger. The drug asti samhara, taken with a single meal every day or drunk with gravy, dispels deranged vayu and sets broken bones right. Just gravy dispels vayu, as I understand it. I'm not kidding. I mean, I'm thinking of vatas. Yeah. What do you want to feed vatas? You want to feed them warm, juicy things. Soups and gravies are just... 56. Powdered fried grain mixed with goat's milk and ghee can be applied to the feet to relieve them of aching sensation. There is no doubt. 57. A compound of honey, ghee, rock salt, sikta, cooked rice, jaggery, gairika, gugula, and sarjarasa, I keep stumbling on that word, sarjarasa, when applied as plaster, gives relief to affected lungs. O Vrishabdvaja, clay-eaten soles of the feet smeared with mustard oil must be warmed over a smokeless fire for quick relief. Ghee medicated with sarjarasa, jiraka, which is cumin, and haritaki, and pasted with cooked rice, can be applied over scalds and burns for instantaneous relief. I wonder if they had aloe. 60. Heated oil mixed with ashes. I don't remember reading about aloe in Ayurvedic medicine as a traditional herb. It may be a new world or Western.
It's in the formulary now, but I don't know whether it was before.
60. Heated oil mixed with ashes of yuva, frequently applied over scalds and blisters, heals them. What was yuva? Was that just barley or something like that?
I don't remember now.
61. Fried and powdered tilla mixed with butter from buffalo's milk. So that's probably sesame seed mixed with butter from buffalo milk, and balata applied as an erhine removes cardiac colic, and applied as a plaster heals ulcers. And probably external topical ulcers we're talking about. 62. Karpura, which is camphor, and butter from cow's milk must be applied over a cut from any weapon and bandaged with a white cloth, O Shankara. So they were putting, Vicks on it.
Mm-hmm. Kind of.
Vicks Vapor Rub. It was camphor suspended in butter.
Mm-hmm.
Tie it up with a cloth. I can just imagine it.
Yep.
In the ancient.
What verse is that?
62. So.
Camphor and ghee.
Karpura and butter. From cow's milk. So not clarified. Must be applied over a cut from any weapon and bandaged with a white cloth, O Shankara. O Vrishabdvaja, it will cease to give pain and will not suppurate.
Okay.
63. A sword cut heals when the juice of the root of amra is applied. When smeared with ghee, it does not begin to turn into an ulcer. So they're understanding oil to prevent certain kinds of ulceration.
Keep out oxygen too.
Yeah. 64. Sharapunka, Lajaluka, Pata, and their roots ground into paste in water and applied to sword cuts heal them. 65. Root of Kaka Janga, applied to ulcerating wounds for 3 days, removes their suppuration, pain, and fetid odor. Pain caused by a blow can be quelled by fomentation with the root of apamarga cooked in water and oil. O Shankara, Abhaya, rock salt, and shunti ground into paste with water when taken in quells indigestion. Abhaya, that shows up a lot. I should know what that is, but with rock salt and fennel in a paste with water for indigestion.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a biomudra.
Fennel is often
fear something.
Yeah. Fennel is often, you find that at Indian restaurants as a digestive. So this is 68. Roots of nimba worn round the waist remove excruciating pain in the eyes. If the root of shana is eaten with tambula, it removes the disorder of urination with semen discharge. Haridra cooked in steam with rice, root of white mustard, and seeds of matulunga applied over the body for 7 days gives it a bright hue. O Vrishabdvaja, the juice of the leaves of white aparajita and nimba, or the juice of maduka pith, used as an erhine, removes the evil influence of Dakinis, mains, and Brahma Rakshasas. So
that's 70.
70, yes. So
remove
the evil influence of Dakinis, mains, which is Pitris, I guess, and Brahma Rakshasas. Demons of Brahma. I don't know how that works. But 71. When moon enters the star Pushya, cull the roots of white Jayanti, a synonym of Agnimanta, it says. So, cut the roots. So when the moon enters the star Pushya, we're talking about, the moon entering a specific nakshatra, that's the time to cut the root of the white Jayanti, the white Aparajita, Arka, and Chitraka. Grind all these into paste and prepare vatikas thereof. If a man marks his forehead in the form of a tilaka with these vatikas, women will be under his control. Now we're getting into some magical stuff. So here medicine drifts into...
I would say this is about lunar collection of plants.
Yeah. 72, 73. O Rudra, Pipali, iron filings, Shunti, Amalaki, rock salt, honey, and sugar taken in equal quantities must be ground into paste. A daily dose of this compound of the size of an udumbara fruit for 7 days makes the man strong and long-lived. He may live even up to 200 years. The mantra Om Ta Ta Ta, employed in all activities involving charms, blesses one with everything one wishes for.
Well, there's one for you.
Now, parts of this sound like a Chavanprash recipe. You're using amla, you're using pipali and shunti, rock salt. I don't know about the salt, but honey and sugar. And it's specifically giving it as a longevity thing, which was the original purpose of the Chavanprash, is for longevity. Rasayana, but the Om Ta Ta Ta, that's a retroflex aspirated T sound with a short A repeated 3 times, employed in all activities involving charms. Blesses one with everything one wishes for. 74, 77. Take a crow's nest from the tree and burn it over the funeral pyre. If the ashes are cast on the head of the enemy, O Shankara, the enemy will be driven from his place of rest. Now we're getting dark. O Rudra, here's some more black devices of high potency. If a man places the feces of his enemy on the hide of a wild rat and ties it round his waistband, the enemy will suffer from suppression of stools. That's a weird way to get back at somebody. Make him constipated. That'll teach him.
That'll teach him.
Oh, Hara, if the name of any man is written on a mango leaf with the blood of a black crow, and that leaf is cast among filthy substances, he is sure to be eaten by crows. A woman also can be killed like this.
Don't try this at home.
A woman also can be killed like this. Now, okay. It just occurs to me, this is probably the longest episode we've done. We had to wade through piles and piles of stuff to get this, but I think it's a test. And it's because they're going to give you all these black magic secrets at the end of the chapter, and they want to make sure that you're someone with the mettle to stick it out through this interminable long thing, just till you get to various dark things you could do and you better not, because let's face it, you are still responsible for your own karma.
There you go.
78. Sugar, honey, goat's milk, and equal quantities of tila and gokshurika must be cast off with the desire for the extinction of the enemy. It is sure to destroy him, O Hara. 100 twigs of bilva dipped with the blood of an owl and a black crow must be put into the sacrificial fire by reciting the names of 2 enemies. These 2 persons are sure to be bitter enemies. This is why they kept it, it was Dhanvantari's not talking to Sushruta anymore. That has to get down to like Vishnu talking to Shiva, because it's like passing the tantric information that can only be, communicated between people, between people, if you will, deities, between entities of very special status. Oil cooked in the milk of a bear with the flesh of the fish rohita, if applied over the body, cures all ailments. The washings of sandalwood used as an erhin facilitates the reappearance of fallen hair. 81. He who holds a langalika bulb in his hand and rubs it over his body removes the arrogance of hydrocele. He will be cured of it. And this is the Glorioso Superba. Sounds nice. Langalika bulb. You hold it in your hand, you rub it all over your body, and it removes the arrogance of hydrocele, or something. Hydrocele. 82. O Ishvara, O Shiva, one can take away the life of blazing poisonous serpents even if they are in their holes by means of the blood of a peacock. 83. If a serpent, Ajagara, boa constrictor, is burnt to ashes in a funeral pyre, and the ashes are cast off in front of the enemies, they will be struck down. If they are cast off with the following mantra, their destruction will be more terrible. Excuse me. Om ta 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 chahihi chahihi swaha. Om udram pahihi pahihi swaha. I had to sit up for that. When the moon enters the asterism Pushya, cull the root of Sudarshana and keep it in the middle of the house. Serpents will avoid that house. I don't know what the Sudarshana plant is, but Sudarshana is also a name for the discus of Vishnu. Yes.
The mantra was to destroy enemies.
Yeah. Yeah, the ones you threw boa constrictor ashes in front of.
Right.
If they are cast off with the following mantras, their destruction will be even worse. They're going to be destroyed anyway, but, if you want to
really destroy them.
Yeah. All right. Then serpent avoiding roots. Then 86, roots of the arka plant soaked in the oil of Siddhartha and dried in the sun and made into wicks. Remove the serpents on the way. We're almost done. But it's going to get ugly first. 87, 89. The flesh of a cat, its excreta, and haritala, well cooked in goat's milk, should be smeared over the body of a rat. The rat thrown into a house will drive away other rats from the place. He'll gross out even the other rats.
I guess.
But then you'll just have that one stinky rat living there all by himself. O Rudra, there is no doubt about it, fumigating with vapors of a compound consisting of Triphala, Arjuna flowers, Balataka, Shirishaka, Laksha, Sarjarasa, Vidanga, and Gugalu destroys all flies and mosquitoes. That's it. Chapter 177. Finish. I'm turning us off.